So back in camp, back at Loughborough, I think the news today is Sean Hawkins had to pull out. What's the latest on his injury?
Yeah, I mean, Sean's very unfortunate. His knee injury, I think, as the Dr. Chris Brooks described, has not responded as well to treatment as we would have hoped. And, that's unfortunate for Sean. But, again, he needs to get that fixed up, make sure that's that is up and running, in the next few weeks, and that is available at the end of the season. And to miss this game is disappointing, but, at the end of the season, as long as he's available, it'll give us again another strong selection.
You decided not to bring in an additional player. Why is that?
We've got enough in the squad. We named 20-man squad. We had cover for every position throughout this weekend, and Sean being injured, without any other injuries suffered by our players, which I think we're very fortunate. After a round of fixtures, not to pick any more up. We already had that covered within the existing group, so it wasn't felt like we were required to bring anybody else in.
There's been a lot of preparation in the build up to this game in particular. But it's going to be such a relentless week for yourself and the team. It's very rare you get these opportunities to have a full week with the players, leading into a game. How much you relish in that? Yeah,
full week in camp and a game at the end of it. It's very good. And look, everything we do, every single bit of preparation we do, whether it's our England Knights camps, whether it's Loughborough where we are now, whether it's the Knights, whatever we do is designed to give us a better opportunity of performing well. So this week is an essential part of our programme. It's to eventually go on and win the World Cup, which is what our aim is. We understand it's not going to happen just by preparing for 6 weeks for a tournament, and it won't just hinge on the result of this match. It'd be great for us to get a proper result and a great result for this game. But it's preparation of a sustained period of time, and that sustained period of time has been the best part of 3-4 years now in the making, and hopefully, I believe we have been seeing the fruits of that by our performances over the last 2 international tournaments, and hopefully we can progress that even further with a great performance this time around against the Exiles.
And you have every faith in this group, because there's been a lot of critics out there in the last week since you announced the squad, saying some other players should have been probably selected for this week. What's your thoughts on those comments?
I'm sick and tired of talking about players who haven't been picked, to be honest. This group of players are an outstanding group, got ultimate faith and trust with this group. They have with each other. We've been working together for a fair period of time now. We've had new players come into the group. Chris Hill's coming from the outside, Brett Ferris has come from the outside. We'll have players promoted from within our England Knights programme, which was specifically designed to give our young players an opportunity to experience international football without the pressures of being in the senior group. They've now progressed through into this. And we've got a brilliant group of players who are in this squad, who are in our existing ETS squad who aren't picked, and who are based out in Australia as well. I think there's a fantastic future ahead. I think we've got a great opportunity for this game, for this World Cup, for future World Cups as well, when you look at the depth and the talent coming through in our game. And look, individual clubs, fans from each club will have, they watch their team, they're blinkered, they see their players. I see every player every single week and get opportunities to make decisions based on that.
World Cup, let's just put that to one side, but what do you want to get out of this game? What are you hoping for at the end of Friday night at Warrington?
Well, I think we've made progression over a sustained period of time. So we are looking for our group to come together quickly. We're playing against a talented, experienced team. We're coming on the back of winning the Home Nations last year and performing very well throughout those games. But the reasons why we played well in those games was because of our will to prepare to win. And it was as simple as that. And again, we have to show a real willingness this week to get out there, get done what needs to get done in practice. And if we do that, we will keep our momentum going towards the end of the season. And like you said, the players, forget the World Cup, and that's the message from themselves. Forget the World Cup. That'll look after itself if we get this job done and look after this one. And the players are intent on doing so.
Game 1 of Exiles last year and the first ever game 2 years ago, there were brutal encounters. They're full of intent. Why are these so different to normal Super League games?
They are very different. Any player who's played in these games will tell you it's a suffocating type feeling. It's a real energy sapping type of game, and the number of players in this game, there'll be about 80 more play the balls in this game than any other game in the Super League. The ball will be in play for probably 10 to 12 minutes more than the average Super League game this season. And generally that's because there's a very low penalty count in the games, it's low scoring games, both teams are desperate to defend well, and with that you get a whole lot of a different style of play, and that's more akin to Test match rugby league. Now players don't get that week in, week out. We get the odd game, we get a few games in the Super League competition where it really is, the numbers are up there, but the players are aware of it. They understand that coming into this game they will be physically and mentally tested on Friday night against very good opposition, and that for me is probably the single biggest way of improving and progressing our national team, is by creating more and more of those opportunities.